Well, good evening, and more good evening to all you wisdom walkers out there. This is Jojo Maria and Saroma coming to you with the elemental wisdom for the month of May. And there's Miss Carmen Ray from Be Well Magazine already chiming in. Yes, good evening. Wow. I'm going to talk about this elemental wisdom for May from the theme of plant internal seeds of love, because there is so much going on that can have us be in fear. So we have to consciously take on planting those seeds of love. Yes, and we totally need it, deserve it. Yeah. But I also want to tell you that I am so grateful for today because I feel like spring has finally come to central Wisconsin, and the weather was it is in the 70s. I don't even have to have a light on, as you can see. I have just natural light that's coming in, and oh my God, I opened my windows for the first time. Yeah, this spring. So I feel like spring is really here. Um, we also are, at a beginning of a month that we expect for there to be a shift in warmer weather. If we're in the northern hemisphere, it's the opposite in the southern hemisphere. But here in the northern hemisphere, we really do expect that. We expect that, there's going to be this shift that goes on. So, without further ado, I want to bring you this elemental wisdom first by acknowledging my two teachers, Malidoma and Sobonfu Somé from the Burkina Faso, the land of the proud ancestors, and so grateful to them for this wonderful wisdom that they have brought to us here in the West. And May is the first Earth month in this Earth year, and we've got Mother's Day coming up. We've got Memorial Day at the end of the year, which signals kind of like get ready for summer. And it's also Star Wars Day. So may the fourth be with you. Yes, I'm a big Star Wars fan. So let's begin, because right now we're finishing up a nature week from April into May. And starting this Wednesday, we're going to be going into a fire week. And here's the opportunities, folks. This is all about opening up to and embracing the practice of forgiveness. Yes. Invoke the ancestors to help you forego being a martyr to past pain as you invite the grace of forgiveness to embrace you and remove what was never yours to keep. Ask and thank your God for enabling you to receive the grace of forgiveness for those you have hurt, for those who have hurt you, consciously or unconsciously. Prepare an ancestor plate at every meal. Light a candle and feed them with your intention to honor their existence and to receive their guidance, wisdom, and love. They want you to win and are committed to you not repeating their sorrows. You are their dream come true, and they want you to live your happy endings. Absolutely. It is so important as we're this month focusing on planting these seeds of love to remember that the last thing the ancestors want is for us to repeat their pain. We are here to go beyond that. And so the big seed of love we need to be planting is the seed of love for ourselves. Yeah. It truly, truly is about us valuing ourselves, honoring ourselves, loving ourselves enough so that we do have energy to share with others. But also, if we don't take care of ourselves, if we don't learn how to do that, if we don't choose to get our rest, the proper amount of rest, then we're simply not loving ourselves. Yeah. So here are the distractions for this week coming up. First is wanting to be right about being a victim. I was just having this conversation with my sister. She was saying that when people become conscious of their pain, that right away they start healing. And I said, no, no, honey, that is not true. Unfortunately, there are many folks out there who know about their pain, know about their trauma, but they want to keep holding on to that being right about being a victim, wearing it like a medal of honor. And so pay attention to that, because even for the amount of time I've done my work on this journey, there are times when I find myself kind of sliding back into that lower timeline of, yeah, I want to be right about being a victim. I want to stay angry at someone or something outside of myself. And so pay attention to that, because it's easy to fall into, and it doesn't lead to a happy ending. Thinking you have to figure things out on your own. Yes. This is believing that there isn't a greater order and direction at work in your life, and a loving greater order and direction. Especially when you get stumped and your back is against the wall, you just really can't figure it out. You have to open up to receiving grace, receiving support from where you couldn't imagine. But when you think you have it all figured out on your own, yeah, again, asking for more trouble. Judgment and criticism of self and others, of course, that will definitely keep you from the practice of forgiveness. And then taking on the problems of others, yeah, because while you busy focusing on somebody else's stuff, you ain't taking care of your own. And remember, forgiveness is about letting go of carrying pain, especially pain from the past, so that you can be freed up to really experience more of the truth of who you are. So, blessings on this upcoming fire week, and pay attention to letting go of being a victim. Shit. Now, the following Wednesday, we have a mineral week. And here's the opportunities with this. This is about remembering your purpose. Yes. Oh, my throat got dry. Thank God for water. This is about allowing the power of love to remind you of who you truly are, what you really want to do, have, and be in your life. This is about opening up to follow your heart and soul and take the necessary risks to experience your true power and uniqueness. And so, of course, this is about, again, planting that seed of love, and belief that you are here for a purpose, that there is something that you have come to do that nobody else can do, and not in the way that you can do it. So, yeah, this is a good one. This is a good big one. I love this one. And here are distractions for that. The first is choosing to stay in confusion. Yes, confusion is actually a choice. So if you're confused about, how do I live? How do I work? How do I eat? How do I get into a loving relationship? All of that. Open up to the learning. You don't have to stay confused about it. You can say, okay, God, okay, Creator, Allah, whatever your greater order and direction is, I want to learn how to, and fill in the blank. So remember that you don't have to stay in confusion. Also, engaging in melodramas. I think when there's so much melodrama going on right now, it's like a real life, what do they call it? I'm blocking on the word now, but it's it's like a real life TV show. But it's not, because they set things up and they script things out. But, it's all this melodrama that's going on. And so it's very easy in today's world to engage in that, but don't do it. Don't waste your time and energy in being angry and upset over things that you don't have control over. Focus on what can I do, me, myself, and I, to make a contribution, to shift up the consciousness of this world. How can I choose love over fear and radiate that out to others? Yeah. Taking on problems and challenges that you have the ability to tackle, but which are not for you to do because they are not in alignment with your higher purpose. This is a really, really important one. Easy to get sucked into because, we want what? Yeah, we want acknowledgement. We want people to like us. We want people to cheer us and tell us how good we are. And so it's easy to unconsciously even take on other people's problems, but and do what you can do. But it's really about what that person needs to do for themselves. And so don't feel guilty or like I'm letting somebody down because I say no, or I can't do that for you at this time because it's not in alignment. It's okay to do that. It truly, truly is. And of course, in this one about our purpose and taking the necessary risk to truly be on purpose, there is that fear of failure. What if I lose everything? What if it doesn't turn out the way I want it to? Blah, blah, blah. Just notice that because it's okay to feel fear. You don't have to act on it, though. And then procrastination, which to me is just another form of fear. It's another way in which we can hold ourselves back from taking the necessary risk. And getting over any of that is really about us doing what? Yeah, planting those seeds of love internally. Because when we love ourselves, we find our courage, we get our strong heart. And when we love ourselves, we open up to learning, okay, how do I get going? How do I get the support I need? But we don't have to stay stuck, basically. We can keep moving. Ashe. And then in the third week of May, we move into a water week. And here are the opportunities for this. And it's something we've been asked to do and have been having many opportunities to do over the last 7 months. And that is about releasing what can no longer support your new journey. Absolutely. This is about calling upon the power of love and the element of water to enable you to peacefully and gently bid farewell to the people, the places, or things that once sustained you. Express gratitude for these were essential contributions you received to your healing and growth. But now you've outgrown their energy, and it's time to make room for the new energy that is about to show up for you. Embrace vulnerability, embrace the unknown, and say yes. Absolutely. I just love this one because, we're in such a time of radical change. So it's so much is being pushed up and shown to us of where it is that we're still holding on to what can't serve us. I don't care if it came from the past, the far past, the distant past, the ancestral past, or even yesterday. This is a time for us to be honest with ourselves and trust that we can let go of what no longer is a support so that we can get what we really need. Yeah. So let me share with you the distractions for this water week. Yeah, that fear of loss, of course. And it's normal, it's natural, but it doesn't have to hold you back. Just notice it, pay attention to it. Also, like the fear of the unknown, We're so conditioned in modern culture to have to know, to have the plan, to have the strategy, have to have it all figured out. But that's not how the universe works. The universe is not on our timeline. It has its own timeline. And we're going to be pulled, as we have been, like I said, especially over these last 7 months, into more of not knowing. And it's not a place that we need to believe we're going to stay in, because it's working to get us into what is right for us. So, but if you're holding on to what you know, you're not going to be able to receive and learn about what is right for you now. Absolutely. So needing to know or explain outcomes that have yet to be lived, again, trying to use that rational mind for things that are beyond our comprehension. And also holding on out of false obligation and false guilt. Oh, I can't tell you, and this is so easy to get into, especially with people we love, or family members, or even colleagues. Because again, why? Because, our ego, we don't want people to be upset with us. We don't want them to be angry. We want them to think we're good. And again, that's a false obligation and a false guilt. And it's really important to be conscious of that so that you can find your courage, muster up your courage, and speak your truth. Like, I'm done. This has been great. It's been fun. It's been wonderful, but I'm ready now to go into a new direction or a different direction, or I don't know right now where I'm going, but I know I've got to go someplace else. So again, give yourself permission. Give yourself permission to release what can't support you and not be distracted by these fears. Ashe. And then last but not least, for the last week of May, we have we're ending again on a nature week. And this one is all about welcoming change. Yes, that's why we're letting things go. So welcome change, be courageous, open the door fully to the new transformative challenges and learnings which the universe is providing in answer to and in support of your prayers, your intentions, your goals, and those annual commitments. Remember them? Yes. Receive the power of love and the supportive and playful energy of the nature element to experience the more of who you are. Absolutely. Absolutely. And again, I can't stress this enough, that we really are in a time of new beginnings. It seems like we're not. It seems like we've gone backwards, but we really haven't. This is like what I call the slingshot effect, a boomerang. Not a boomerang, it is a slingshot. Like when you pull back so that you can get enough force to do what? Yeah, like go. And that's what's really going on, my darlings. Yeah. So don't buy into we've gone backwards. That's not how the universe works. No. We're just getting some good lessons, some good learning, some good understandings about what we don't want in the world. Yeah. So remember, pull back. We're going to speed ahead very, very quickly. So again, be open, be courageous, because the new is here. And so here are the distractions to pay attention to. Addictive behaviors in whatever form they take: drugs and alcohol, indiscriminate sexual activity, overworking, over shopping, overuse of Facebook and other social tools and apparatus, and also overthinking. All of that will just be, slowing you down or blocking you from the change that you're being asked to make and where it is you're being asked to go. Being judgmental of yourself and others, again, just a distraction. It is just a distraction. Leave it alone. And last but not least, taking yourself or other people or things too seriously. Yes, I know this one very well. And what this is saying is everything is changing. Everything changes. So at some point, this, whatever it is you're holding, and a belief, a thought even, or opinion about a person or something, when you don't really know all of the truth, that is just, again, holding you back from changing, from you going forward. Yeah. So I hope this is a support to you, because it is so important that we plant these seeds, internal seeds of love for ourselves. And, during this elemental month of May, during this wisdom from fire, mineral, water, and nature, that you really stay conscious of, I've got to love me and I've got to be me if I'm going to really go forward into the new earth, into all of the wonderful things that eventually are going to be showing up. Just got to hang in there and get through all of what has to occur so that the new can really be here. That's what it's about. Ah, Queen Juanita says yes, absolutely, absolutely. Now, folks, as always, I want to remind you that every month we have an Earth Day on the 22nd. This year, for the Global Earth Day, excuse me, the focus is on our power and our planet. Is spirit taking my voice? Woo! So the theme, our power and our planet, is designed to try and help us really unite and get renewable energy, and to triple the global generation of clean electricity by 2030. That's only 5 years from now. It's not that far away. So all of us really need to stay conscious of this. Again, recycling, or just being conscious of how you're using electricity. All of that can really contribute to this. So don't feel overwhelmed by it, or there's nothing you can do, because that's not true. Remember, we really want to leave this planet available in a usable way, a life-sustaining way, for the 7th generation that comes after us. And by just being conscious of the fact that we've got to make changes is going to be very helpful. Absolutely. Absolutely. So I just want to show you again and remind you that you can go to the Earth Day website, www.earthday.org, and get information on the different campaigns they have going on, and just basic information, different information too, about what you can do to help save our planet. Yeah. And again, the planet can't die, but for it to be habitable by humans, yeah, that can definitely change. So just a reminder about my book, and I want to thank you all for listening in. Again, I hope this has been helpful to you. Spirit has just took my voice. I'm like choking right now. But I also want to say to all the Star Wars fans out there, may the 4th be with you, and plant those internal seeds of love. It is so, so, so important. Be well, be safe, and I will be back next week with some astrology for May. And then the following week, I'll do the Wisdom Walk talk on our 5th annual commitment, which is about validation. Yeah. Talk to you soon again. Bye-bye now.